So my task today will not be an easy one. By the end of this video, I have to figure out whether this Lumix GX800 will stay with me, or really I have moved on from Micro Four Thirds and cameras in general and prefer the cell phone for its versatility and the shooting capabilities. And the answer to this query might surprise you, but for now, let's speak about the quality, the build, the construction of this camera. So, as I mentioned previously, this camera only owes me about 100 euros, and really for this price, well, you can't go better than the GX800. I know this is taken out of context, but the build quality is exquisite. It only has a few marks. One of them is here, so you can see the way the camera has been hit in this corner. It's nothing too worrisome. Other than that, there's a small dot where the paint has faded or has been scratched somewhat. Other than that, this camera is perfect. It's not brand new, but I would say it's barely used. It doesn't have any issues in terms of mechanical feel and structure and materials and so on. It is a bit disappointing that it's plastic, but I get the decision. It's supposed to be a lower tier camera, which is very handy and easy to carry, while to take for point and shoot adventures really. By the way, it doesn't creak or rattle at all. It's very rigid, nice to hold in hand. Ergonomics are top notch, so you get the idea. In terms of quality, construction and ergonomics, this is almost a 10 out of 10. The size is what gets you really. So carrying this thing on a strap like an old school photography nerd, which really wasn't my sort of thing in the past, really makes sense. And well, you can also stabilize it more easily when taking photos. If you turn the camera on and you sort of tension it from your neck by gently pulling at it, it will create some beautiful shots and some exquisite results. Now, in the first part of the trip, I plan to use a simple kit comprising of this Lumix GX800, the Lumix 12-32 kit lens, and an additional pancake, the Lumix 14mm second variant, which I took with me on a plane. And let me just confirm this: these compact dimensions make taking a dedicated camera with you on a plane a breeze. It's very easy to blend in and to pass the correct checkpoints. In terms of portability, again, high points for this Lumix GX800, a 10 out of 10 considering what it can offer. Now, let me just get straight to the point. I considered comparing this camera from 2017 with a contemporary phone, but not a latest iteration, so not the top tier phones, but rather I considered comparing it to my very greasy and dirty Samsung Galaxy S20, which to my mind offers adequate camera technology and performance in 2025 without breaking the standard or improving or innovating in any way. So considering the value of the S20 and the value of the GX800, I figured this would be a worthy comparison, and I will show you some pictures right now. Initially, I have taken them with the Lumix 14mm pancake attached to the GX800, but after the first day, I soon found myself switching to the 12-32mm kit lens, and let me just say, even though this is mostly plastic fantastic, it offers great versatility, great portability, more than average performance. It suffers a bit in low light conditions, but overall I like the possibility to adjust the zoom according to my needs in order to properly fill in the shot without getting any extra unwanted detail on the side. Having said that, I just turned the camera to aperture priority mode. I mainly let it do its thing and consider just taking photos, which is actually the way to do it. I'm in no way an artistically inclined photographer. I'm not a professional and I don't plan to go that route, even though I highly appreciate the people that do this, especially reviewers of photo related gear and cameras. I'm not really one of them, so please bear in mind when you look at my photos sampled here that really I'm not inclined to getting the best artistic photos out there. I just mainly shoot things that are interesting to me, shoot colors, shoot memories, shoot shapes, and shoot everything that comes along, even pets and street photography and so on. So you get the picture. I am deeply impressed with this GX800. I didn't expect it to get such good results, especially considering that I didn't really fiddle with the controls and the settings. I just mainly took pictures on aperture priority with autofocus and so on and so forth. I felt this was an excellent way to use this Lumix GX800 without any additional setup and camera gear. And another thing that I really enjoyed with this camera, and I missed in the last 7 to 8 years since I haven't been using cameras, is the tactility and the mechanical feel of the shutter and even the touch screen. Missed the button. I missed the way the pictures are stored on the memory card, simple without any animations, thorough and straightforward. It makes it such a breeze to work with these cameras, especially if you're not sort of social media biased and you don't want to upload your photos on Instagram or Facebook, which I personally do not want to do. It makes this job a whole lot easier to just connect the camera with the USB cable and store my photos on my desktop computer rather the laptop that I sometimes use. So yeah, I'm a bit old school, but I haven't really imagined the impact of this, the implications of this technology until I figured out I took 1,500 photos and video clips in 5 days, which is a bit of a record for me. Now, speaking of video, I will also mention that the 4K resolution of this camera is actually quite impressive. There's also the question or whether I might benefit from these video capabilities. Let me just connect the 14mm f2.5 lens to the camera, switch the screen, swivel the screen, and try to film myself so you can see me right now. So this is me recording with the GX800. I'm not looking that good because the lighting is set up for the to cover my my phone, rather the shot of my phone. I'm mainly interested in the microphone of this camera. Of course, there's a lot of shake, and this camera does not have image stabilization, which is a minus, but it could be used. I mean, the autofocus is exquisite, and it could be used even in bad lighting situation for occasional YouTube clips. And yeah, the video is actually quite good, and I will share some samples here. What I did, I tried to compensate the lack of stabilization by tensioning the strap around my neck and doing a swinging motion like using a broom, doing a sweeping motion really, and try to stabilize this camera in my hand. Now, sometimes I had good results, other times not so much, but still, for what it owes me, this camera is actually pretty good and would be an excellent secondary content creator camera next to my Samsung Galaxy S20 phone. Now, will I keep it? No. The answer is no. Why? Because I'm able to make more money by selling it and rather double my profits in the process. And this makes it a no-brainer. Even though it's a beautiful camera, it offers 4K video recording, it doesn't have a microphone output, a jack output, it doesn't offer stabilization, so I'm not going to be able to use it full-time and to replace my GH4 with it. Therefore, it's still lacking some things in terms of features, and that doesn't make it worthy of keep, at least in my particular case and my humble opinion. However, I will say that this is an exquisite camera, and even full price, it's most definitely worth it still in 2025. If you just want to take pictures, this thing is not a bad investment. I would say go for it. The exquisite build quality, the materials used, the impressive camera capabilities, the prowess of it really makes it a contender to modern smartphones in terms of photo quality. I'm not going to say top tier smartphones, but it's still a good option in 2026. By the way, I mentioned 2025, but I know we're in 2026 now. So there you have it. I buy, hoard, and collect weird and useless, obsolete tech stuff. Though sometimes I make a nice profit with cameras, like with this Lumix GX800, even though I'm a bit taken aback by that fact. I still need to sell it and make a profit and see where this YouTube endeavor and this gadget hoarding will take me. So on that rather convoluted note, I thank you for watching and hope to see you in my future videos. Bye bye.